Welcome back to the table. I've found over the years that one of my greatest gifts is that I have the ability to walk into a chaotic situation and help bring a sense of calm and order. But bringing peace is not always just a quick victory. More than often, it is slow. It is unbearably slow. A few years ago, I had the privilege and the orders from the company I worked for to go take over two group homes. Well, I went there, and the two houses were right next door to each other, and they were identical houses, just mirror images of each other, and maybe 50 yards apart. But I found out when I went in that the houses could not have been more different. The first house, which we called the South House because it was south of the North House, had a lot of new staff in there, and they were eager and they were open. They wanted leadership. They wanted to do a good job. And when I came in there, they were just happy to have me there. And they loved me. I loved them. It went really well. But as you can imagine, it wasn't the same at the North House. That was a different house entirely. You see, the staff that had been there, they were people who had been with that supervisor for many years and were unhappy that she was terminated. My first instinct was to just kind of have a pity party and say, poor me. And I did. I started to avoid going over to that house as often as I did the other one. I'd almost written them off, but then I realized I was hired to manage two houses, not just one. I changed my strategy. Instead of avoiding the resistance that I was getting there, I started just making myself go over there every day for 20 or 30, 40 minutes at a time and just spending time with the staff that were there. Over time of being there, listening, talking, being respectful, complimenting them for how well they were doing and the great team that they were, which were sincere compliments. They started asking for my input. And after about a year, I was actually welcomed when I came to that home. I learned something then that I think we need to hear today. If we force ourselves to stay present and to value people as human beings, the differences that seem like mountains can, and I believe will, eventually get worked through. I think you'd all agree that right now our country feels a lot like those two group homes. Jesus warned us in Matthew 12:25 that every kingdom divided against itself will be ruined, and every city or household or nation divided against itself cannot stand. Abraham Lincoln echoed those same words in 1858. He wasn't just making a political speech, he was stating a law of reality that a house divided doesn't just disagree, it eventually stops functioning. The cost of continuing to dehumanize each other like we have been doing, it isn't just who's going to win the next election, it's the loss to the very foundation that our nation has stood upon. There's a group that we feel very comfortable with and that we're welcomed and celebrated, and we share common ideas and values and direction. And we have the house next door, that other group of people who don't really want us, don't really agree with us. They're just seeing us puts them in a sour mood, puts them on the defensive. We've stopped crossing over to be with them. Instead of looking at the walls between our houses, I want to invite you to come with me on a little adventure, and we're going to go to the fence between us and our neighbor. We're going to look together at things that I'd like to call the 95 fives. See, a lot of things that are dividing us are 50-50 or 60-40. There's a lot of anger over those things. Where we need to meet is at the 95-5. Now, these are truths that 95% of us agree on. Even if you happen to be the bluest of blue Democrats or the reddest of red Republicans, you'll agree. And as I read these 12 commonalities, I want you to pick just one and imagine sitting across the table. It's from that person that you've written off and realize they want exactly the same thing that we do. First, safe neighborhoods. We all want to feel safe and secure in our homes and be able to walk the streets without fear. Second, we want a better future for our children. We all hope that the next generation has more opportunities than we did. Third, reward for hard work. We all believe that if you play by the rules, you should be able to provide for your family. Fourth, protection of the vulnerable. We all share a compassion that says we must look after the elderly and the disabled. 5, quality education. We agree that every child deserves the tools and the knowledge to succeed. Sixth, physical health. We all want access to care that does not result in total financial ruin. Seventh, personal agency. We want to have a say in our own lives, not to be cogs in a distant machine. Eighth, honesty and transparency. We are exhausted by lies. We have a universal hunger for the truth. 9, we have a right to privacy. We want our personal lives and our data kept free from unwanted intrusion. 10, we want a stable economy. We need a currency that holds value and an economy where we can all afford to live. Number 11, connection to community. We have a deep primal need to belong and to have neighbors that we can rely on. Number 12, freedom of conscience. The right to live according to our deepest beliefs without being coerced. If you can find just one of those points to agree on, that wall between you and the other person becomes a door. Thanks for staying with me this long. I want to leave you with this. It's my challenge, is to pick one of the people you've been avoiding and go meet them somewhere at the table, maybe a coffee shop or a restaurant or a picnic bench, and just sit with them and take that 95-5 thing that you agree on and say, yes, what can we do? Let's work together. Let's find a way where we can unite and we can live in the blessing of working together as one. So that's my challenge for you. This is Pastor John at the table. Until next time.